We're now being joined by Brigadier Sanjay Agarwal, Sena Metal and Bar, and his former security advisor at the Ministry of Home Affairs Government of India. Sir, thank you very much for joining us on WION. What are your thoughts on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's statements that Operation Sindoor draws a new red line, and his warning that if there are any provocations from Pakistan in the future, it would also be firmly met?
Good evening, Susan. Good evening, viewers. A pleasure to be on WION as always. To answer your question straight, the new red line. Finally, India has got both the political will clear, the intent clear, and the capability to deliver on that intent. Delivered by the head of government of India in very unambiguous terms. So that part is unequivocal. And the question, I was watching your previous and, you all listed out a host of weapons and weapon systems of how India is better prepared now, armed now in terms of capability. If I may add, these specific weapon systems is a good front edge publicity and a cutting-edge deciding factor, undoubtedly. But behind that, when you prepare and arm a country like India, I would like to review these 10 years of how this country has upped its defense preparation. With your permission, Susan, may I?
Yes, please do. And if you can just give us bullet points, I have a lot more questions to ask you. But yes, that was actually my next question. Please do.
Okay, because that is what is important. And therefore, let me first say, when we talk at the overview of preparing our country's capability to respond militarily, the first thing is preparation of the battleground. And here I am talking on the larger canvas, and therefore the geopolitical perception management. And viewers would be aware that Indian Prime Minister has been awarded the highest national honor by numerous Islamic countries, 8, I think. That's an important input here. 6 years ago, India made 5 new laboratories in the DRDO for cutting-edge areas like artificial intelligence, quantum technology, cognitive technology, asymmetric technologies, and smart materials. And better, bureaucratic India appointed directors, which are all under 35 years of age. This is arming India. And this is how gradually the Indian defense manufacturing government sector was pepped up. The private sector with the Atmanirbhar Bharat and the SIDM was pepped up. The PSUs were pepped up and re-energized. And remember, for the private sector, viewers, defense manufacturing is a sector with a very high gestation period, a high capital expenditure, and no assurance of final orders at the end of it. Yet India did it. Big thumbs up on that. And then you come to the specifics of whether it is missile development, space technology development, and a fact which hasn't got much publicity. Years ago, after the Kargil, a gap was felt in our navigation and GPS systems. So India developed the IRNSS, the Indian Regional Navigation and Satellite System, also the NAVIC, navigation with Indian constellations. So now we are GPS independent. It's a big leap in self-reliance. Also, when we talk of these missiles and the men behind them, just yesterday I was reading a very nice article on Dr. Prahlad, who is behind the Akash, and then he is now with the defense startup, etc., retired man. Excellent. So major modernization of all 3 services, acquisition of advanced fighter jets like Rafale Tejas, indigenous aircraft carrier production, INS Vikrant, making of PGMs and glide bombs within India. Some of you may have heard of the Gaurav glide bomb. Direct energy weapon systems, laser systems. DEW is direct energy weapon systems. Network-centric warfare and the Wolfpack strategy we have seen in operation in northwest India, this time over the last week, where the Indian air defense has worked in a wonderfully integrated manner between the Army and the Air Force and the various assets between these services. This is a product of painstaking development and integration of everything, including their communication interfaces. Then expansion of the indigenous manufacturing technology, and related with it is the surge in defense exports. And imagine what will now happen to the BrahMos and the Akash. Right. So many countries will be wanting them. Missile technology, defense industrial corridors, they have yet to deliver. And of course, the empowerment of the field commanders, the infrastructure, the various competitive bidding, even the government e-marketing portal, GEM. So there is transparency in our procurements. Wonderful things have happened. Yes, please.
And can I ask my final question, and if you may very briefly, given your experience in internal security, how has India's approach to counterterrorism evolved, particularly in coordinating between the intelligence, military, and state police forces after these tragic incidents?
India's response to terrorist incidents. Need I say anything about whether it was ages ago the Pune bakery blasts, the attack on the Indian Parliament, the attack on Mumbai? There is a retired air chief on record publicly to say that the Indian Air Force was prepared to take action, but political clearance did not come. And today? So there are two issues here. One is intent, which can change overnight. And the second is capability. A lot of capability was there earlier. If it was to deal with terrorist attacks against Pakistan, a lot of capability was there. Yes, it is much enhanced today. And now coming to what you're talking of, internal coordination between various agencies within India, the operating and executing agencies and the intel agencies. Well, we had mechanisms existing earlier. They have been refined. And that intel sharing, joint action, there is a sense of urgency to achieve good results like a well-practiced orchestra. That is what has improved. The capability has improved, the intent is clear, and we are all working towards what is desired of us by the political leadership of the country.
Thank you so much for that analysis, Brigadier Sanjay Agarwal. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers. Jai Hind.